Hi, sir. Good morning, sir. My name is Pratiksha, and I'm from Group James. The person that we are the person that can't make it to the yesterday's presentation, sir. So my teammates are Audrey, Sam, and Hani, and we are here to give the video presentation now, sir. And first of all, I will talk about the organization chart. So this is the organization chart of the Tenaga Nation Berhad. So we can see the president of the Tenaga Nation Berhad is Dato Megat Jalauddin bin Megat Hassan. So he's the president. So below him is Muhammad Nazri bin Fazil, the managing director, and below him there is six people actually. So first the chief distribution network officer, Mahathir Noor bin Ismail, and the chief retail officer Kamal Arfin bin Rahman, and the chief grade officer Ismail Rizal bin Hassan, and Dato Arul Samsuddin bin Ahmad, the chief regulatory stakeholder management officer, and Lui Poyong, the chief sustainability officer, and finally the company secretary Ali Munawar bin Haji Salim. So that's all from the organization chart, and I will pass it to my fellow teammate, that is Audrey.
Hi, sir. I'm Audrey. So now I'll proceed with the chronology of the case. So first of all, in terms of background, the claimant, Krishnan Subramaniam, was employed by Tenaga Nasional Berhad TNB as the penolong juruteknik Tingkatan Kanan A in the company's meter unit. His role involved technical responsibility related to electricity meter installations. During his tenure, the claimant was charged with misconduct for soliciting and receiving cash payments from consumers without the company's authorizations. And there was allegations that Krishnan requested and accepted money from squatters to process electricity supply applications. And these payments were for services provided by the company. So basically, which Krishnan had no authority to collect whatsoever. And this issue came to light when a consumer reported the incident, leading to an internal investigation by TNB itself. And so TNB initiated an internal investigation and a domestic inquiry upon receiving complaints. And there were evidence included witness testimonies that Krishnan demanded and accepted cash from consumers. And despite Krishnan denied the allegations and provide inconsistent statements, TNB proceeded to terminate Krishnan's employment based on the domestic inquiry findings. The company argued his actions were considered gross misconduct, breaching trust and confidence. And Krishnan was not satisfied with the result, so he challenged his terminations and proceeded the case to the industrial court. And the court examined the evidence, including those witness testimonies and records from domestic inquiry, and they found those evidence against Krishnan compelling and consistent, particularly testimony of his admission to receiving payments. And on the other hand, Krishnan's denials were found inconsistent and unconvincing, which the industrial court found that those acts were considered like violations of ethical standards expected of employees, especially in positions of trust, and also a misconduct undermine the fundamental trust in the employer-employee relationship in the TNB itself. And as for the verdict, the court ruled that TNB had proven on a balance of probabilities that Krishnan's terminations was justified. The misconduct violated the company's policy itself, the TNB, and Merchants Employment law based on the Industrial Relations Act 1967 and the Employment Act 1955. And in terms of remedy, Industrial Court upheld the TNB's decision of the dismissal of Krishna Subramaniam and justified their result and their decision, which led to hence no remedy such as reinstatement or compensation was ordered to Krishna Subramaniam. So that's all from me. Now I'll pass to the next person to present. Thank you, sir.
So hi sir, I'm here to talk about the key facts of this case. So claimant role was the technical position in the meter unit at Tenaga National Berhad. So the claimant was actually the working at the TNB place that fixes the meter for the TNB to calculate the how much voltage they use for every month payment and everything like that. So his responsibility is the supervision of the power meter installation and maintenance. So he have to install the meters and he have to do the maintenance. So allegation is the soliciting the illegal cash payments from consumers for expediting services. So the allegation was actually like is the claimant, Mr. Krishnan, take extra cash from the site from the consumers to expedite time the service. Like if you give me 500, I can make the process even faster, or I can fix you, or I can give you the meter illegally without doing anything. So the investigation showed the internal audit revealed the financial irregularities and witnessed the testimonies. So TNB actually had lot of strong cases of him, and they have the evidence to show him that it's not an unfair full dismissal, but it's actually a fair full dismissal, and they went to court, and it actually shows them it is very good. So the defense claimant cited the procedural flaws and the internal politics, but the bank record and the consistent witness testimony supported the allegation, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so the key issue is the ethical breach, the violation of trust and honesty in a role requiring a high ethical standard. So when you give a higher position to a person, doesn't mean who, they have to follow the rules and be honest and be the trustworthy person in that place. So when we break our trust or when we are not honest with our job or ourselves, it's not we are not like repressing or like damaging our name itself. We are damaging our company's name as well. So the credibility of the evidence is ensuring the evidence from the domestic inquiry was credible and unbiased. So the TNB actually searched more to find out the people who that paid Mr. Krishnan, the claimant, extra money to make their process very fast, or they take extra money to make the meter installation without any proper registration. So they bring them to the court itself. So procedural fairness, whether the claimant received a fair hearing and the investigation was conducted properly. So everything went smoothly and properly. Nothing that happened was not fair for Krishnan itself. Everything went very smoothly and including the law itself. So the court finding and implication. So finding claimant's action is constitute the gross misconduct justifying the termination. The legal principle of importance of trust, procedural fairness, and the reliable evidence in employment dispute. The implication emphasizes the need for the ethical standard and fair procedures in a workplace, setting a precedent for future employment law cases. So it shows that when you're not doing your job very properly, or you are not honest with yourself, or in your job that given you, you can lose the job or you can damage your name. And this is an example for the rest of the cases to come in the future. Thank you, sir. That's all from me.
Hi, sir. I'm Samira. I'll be presenting about act or law related to the case. We have three cases here. As for the first one, the Industrial React Act 1967, where the Concern of Malaysia's Industrial Relation Framework case comprehends legal framework of managing employer and employees relationship, facilitate dispute resolution throughout conciliation, mediation, and industrial court adjection, safeguard rights of work and employees, fosters conducive environment for productive labor and relation. As for the next case, I have TNB's internal policy and procedures, comprehensive guideline for employees' conduct disciplinary measures and terminate protocols, roadmap of management and employee. As for the outline, expected behavior and standard of performance. This case specifies consequences of misconduct, provides specific guidelines on accept conduct, disciplinary process, and termination of branches of trust or misconduct. As for the third case, the Code of Conduct Industrial Harmony, guiding framework of harmonious workplace relationship in Malaysia. It emphasizes mutual respect of fairness and ethical standards. The case also promotes trust and integrity in the workplace. At last, it encouraged open communication and peaceful dispute resolutions. Thank you.
Hi, sir. I'm Stephanie, and I will proceed with the pros and cons of upholding the dismissal. So, first pros is the protecting company reputation. So basically, the court decision sends a strong message to employees that TNB takes the ethical conduct seriously, accepting unauthorized payment undermines company policies and could damage public trust in TNB services. This decision discourages similar action and protects the company reputation. For the next pros will be maintaining procedural fairness. The court consideration of Christian position and responsibilities within TNB, such as adherence to procedural fairness. By highlighting the inherent trust associated with his position, the decision reinforced the expectation of ethical behavior from employees entrusted with customer interaction. And the last pros will be deterring corruption. Dismissal sets a precedent for deterring future instances for corruption within TNB. Employees are less likely to engage in similar activities if they understand the potential consequences of violating company policies and ethical standards. This can help maintain a culture of integrity within the organization. So I'll proceed with the cons, which is the first will be the first. Okay. Okay, I will proceed with the cons of upholding the dismissal, which is the first one will be lack of evidence. So basically, Krishnan denial of accusation raises question about the strength of the evidence presented by TNB. Without a clear demonstration of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, dismissing Krishnan could be seen as overly harsh, especially if his job performance was otherwise satisfactory. The second cons will be severity of punishment. Dismissal is a significant penalty, potentially impacting Krishna's future employment prospect. Considering alternative disciplinary measures such as suspension or demotion might be seen as a more proportional response, especially if the eligible offense was a first-time incident. And the last cause of upholding the dismissal will be potential for inconsistency. The case could set a precedent for overly harsh dismissal in future cases for misconduct. If the specific circumstances surrounding Krishnan case were not thoroughly considered, the decision may lead to inconsistency in how TMB handles similar situation. That's all from me and my group. For conclusion and also suggestion has been presented by James and Anis. And thank you, sir. And thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And sorry for
not available yesterday. So also, thank you for our throughout journey and experience with you. So hope to see you again. Take care. Thank you.
Take care, sir.
Bye, sir.